Animal attacks and interactions could very well cause you to have multiple sleepless nights. Number 10. On a nice evening in Zimbabwe, a group of tourists on a carriage bridge had an encounter with a young male lion that didn't quite go as planned. While peacefully riding through the safari, one of the men spots a lion in the distance that unfortunately appears to be heading towards them. With the lion refusing to give up, the terrified tourists decide to pick up the speed and hopes to lose the animal. Eventually, they pick up enough speed where they manage to lose sight of the animal and are able to safely go on with their ride. Number 9. In Kruger National Park, a few tourists in a car felt comfortable enough to drive right next to a huge male lion trying to mind its own business. Eventually, though, the lion gets fed up and decides to let them know. Out of shock, they unfortunately stopped recording and most likely just drove away. Number 8. In a Tanzanian safari, a seemingly average lion spotting quickly turned into a nightmare for some tourists when their car got surrounded by a whole group of male lions. Initially, they parked their car on the side of the road after spotting the predators lurking around the tall grass up ahead. Unfortunately, the tension quickly rises when they realize that the lions are now walking right in their direction. Understandably, a few of the tourists begin to seriously panic as the 3 huge male lions begin walking around just a few feet from their truck. For safety purposes, the tour guide thankfully decides to drive away from the predators in order to continue their observation from a safer distance. Number 7. On a ride in Kruger National Park, a brave man on a search for lion footprints came across something truly shocking. After driving around for a little bit, he finally manages to spot what appears to be freshly made footprints in the dirt and tries to show them off to the camera. Yes, this is very cool. It's possible they've moved and they've gone completely different side of the property. He gets back to driving around and eventually reaches another area where lion tracks seem to be on the ground. Not expecting much to happen, he gets out of his car once again and begins looking around the dirt when the unimaginable happened. So I've gone behind the car. It's very rude of me. Want to follow the track with the car. So everybody, we've just bumped into Pride of Lion. Fearing for his safety, he quickly starts up his car and begins driving away completely. Number 6. While walking around in Zimbabwe, a group of innocent tourists came across a very territorial female lion who didn't seem so happy about having visitors. After spotting the animal staring at them up ahead, the armed tour guide quickly orders the group to slowly back up. Unfortunately, the predator only seems to get angrier by the second. Now seriously worried about their safety, the tourists continue to walk backwards, stand, or walk. Sadly, they stop recording, and what happens next remains unknown. Number 5. This duck gives this little puppy a scare when it bites right where it hurts. Being emasculated was the last thing on this puppy's mind. This duck is trying to whisper a secret into the dog's ear, but the dog does not want to hear any secrets. It's everything out in the open from now on for the canine. Duck understands, but it's not happy because he just loves to gossip. Finally, this dog has this duck in a dog lock, and the duck is desperately trying to free itself. It does so at one point just to get tangled up with the dog again and find itself in the same position as before. I guess this is a masochistic duck. Number 4. Pig bulls are much larger than pigs, but in this video it looks like the pig has the bull's number. The bull is hesitant and kind of shies away from the curious hog. Apparently, this bull has never seen a pig up close, even though this pig is its next door neighbor. The pig is used to being around cattle, hence a confident, amiable, and playful attitude. When a mother pig sees her tiny piglet in peril, she pursues the man who's attempting to harm it. This guy is lucky the pig didn't bite off part of his behind in his next footage. Apparently, this pig invaded a man's property, and the man did hesitate 1 second to shoot the pig. I'm wondering if that's even legal. Perhaps calling animal wildlife would have been a smarter decision, but I guess not everyone is right in the head like that. This cow wants to go head to head with this pig, but it looks like the pig isn't interested. Funny enough, it's the pig that chases the cow around for a few minutes afterwards. This rooster decides to give this pig a hard time, but the pig is no pushover, and if it weren't tied up, I think the rooster would be in trouble. The rooster takes advantage of the pig being tied up and attacks the pig in waves, retreating when the pig becomes too aggressive. Number 3. This bear lives in the house with this man, and you can see they are quite good friends. It's amazing how the bear stands right next to the man and hugs him as they look out of the stars in the sky. Thus, this bear cub is training to become a future Olympic wrestler. It's already mastered the art of the ankle lock, and it looks like it's on the way to becoming a great champion. You must admit it's one cute little bear checkout. This monster grizzly bear wrestle with this man. They are the best of friends, but friend or no friend, I would never get so close to a huge bear like that. You never know when it's going to turn on you. I'm sure the handler has had this bear since it was a cub, but it's still a risk. And when a powerful animal like this decides it's time to jump you, there's nothing you can do about it unless you were holding a bazooka and standing 200 feet away from the beast. Here's another crazy relationship for you. This polar bear named the G-List with this man who hand-raised the bears into his cup. I mean, these two go for swims and cuddle up together just like they were best friends. Apparently, the bear even purrs like a cat when they cuddle up. Really? Polar bears purr? Nah, I can't believe that. Number 2. They will play with them just like the cat in this video. I guess this guy saw his cat with a rat already in its possession and decided to film it. Looks like this cat was sold, and it's being packaged for shipping. So the employee in charge of packing another cat thinks it's a good time to steal the box. I guess this feline takes his job seriously. I'm not sure how the little guy inside the box feels, but hey, those are the rules. This rat attacks. This cat scares it away. I'm not sure if they're friends or if this rat jumped out of the toilet bowl to greet the cat. Looks like this cat went looking for an early breakfast and found it in the shape of a tiny mouse. The cat tires the mouse before carrying it around in its mouth, perhaps looking to sell it to the highest bidder. These two little furry love balls, it doesn't matter that one is a cat and the other is a rat because they've learned how to accept their differences. These two cats meet this little mouse that seems to be skilled in martial arts. Watch how the mouse stands and prepares to give the black cat a powerful kick. When the cat tells it to relax that it just wants to play, the mouse gets even closer just to make sure it hurt the cat properly. I'm not even sure that's a mouse. It kind of looks like a gerbil. This cat gives this mouse a couple of slaps, but it doesn't scare the mouse away. I guess the cat needs to try a little harder. Finally, this cool mouse decides to break dance in front of his cat so the cat doesn't kill it. It tells the cat to watch the show, and if it likes it to let it go. I'm thinking the cat is liking it after all. Number 1. In Paulensburg National Park, a group of unsuspecting tourists had their enjoyable safari walk quickly ruined after realizing that they were being actively stopped by a protective mother lion. Initially, they appeared to be observing the predator in the bushes up ahead. Like normal, when the armed tour guide suddenly tells them to carefully walk backwards. Yeah, I think that's why you guys must look where you're going, but just go slowly back. Eventually, they decide to stand their ground while the lone tour guide up ahead attempts to keep an eye out for the predator. Contrary to what most would do, the group of tourists suddenly feel like getting a closer look and begin walking up ahead. Join the tour guide. After many minutes of looking around, they luckily failed to locate the animal and simply decide to go on with their expedition as if nothing happened. Thanks for watching until the end. Check out this other video that's sure to give you the chills. I'll see you there.